This presentation will provide a review of the School District of Cheltenham Township's preliminary 2011 to 2012 budget. To begin with talking about our budget, let's look at a history of the School District of Cheltenham Township's general fund budget. Historically, the school district has passed a balanced budget where revenues and expenditures meet. Additionally, the school district has not utilized fund balance, which is a measure of strength to our bond and credit agencies that rate us for debt service to balance a budget. For the budget for 2011 to 2012, the school district of Cheltenham is projecting total revenues of $96.9 million and total expenditures of $101.9 million. This excess of expenditures over revenues leaves a current deficit of $5 million. It's not unusual for a school district to have a deficit in its budget at this point in time. In fact, many school districts are in this place due to a variety of economic conditions. The school district's administration and school board will continue to work diligently on the preliminary budget as it progresses from a preliminary stage to a final stage and reduce this gap while looking to reduce expenditures. The distribution of the 2011 to 2012 revenues is as follows. The majority of revenues, 86% in fact, are local. The largest part of that percentage is real estate taxes. Real estate taxes make up 78% of the School District of Cheltenham Township's operating budget. State sources account for approximately 12% of our budget. Federal is less than 1%. Thereby, if the school district is looking to increase expenditures, the burden for those expenditures falls on the local taxpayers. The School District of Cheltenham Township has a disproportionate fact that revenues are predominantly locally driven and not funded by the state of Pennsylvania. While this is a trend across the state, the School District of Cheltenham has a higher percentage of its budget supported by local revenues than many other districts throughout the state. This chart provides a comparison of revenues for the 2009-2010 school year, 2010-2011 year, the current year, and the 2011 to 2012 budgeted year. There is also projections provided for additional review. It's important to note that while the real estate taxes appear in our preliminary budget to increase, they will not actually increase at this point in time, but rather there is a reallocation of this projected increase to property tax gaming receipts that are distributed to property owners as a property tax rent rebate. In fact, the School District of Cheltenham Township assessed value has dropped by $606,000 in available revenue to the school district. This means that in a budget like this, which currently has no tax increase incorporated into the revenue structure, that the school district has lost local tax revenue due to these changes in assessments. You can see that other local revenues, such as Act 511 taxes and other local income, have decreased over the 2010 to 2011 budget. Additionally, state funds are projected to increase, predominantly from a projected reduction in state funding, as well as a loss of state stimulus funds with the School District of Cheltenham Township spent on one-time expenditures. To review some key factors driving the 2011 to 2012 budget, the school district has a loss of $606,000 in local tax revenue due to county awarded assessment appeals. And again, based upon the current data that's presented within this presentation for revenue, where the school district does not have an increase in taxes within these revenue numbers, the school district receives a loss of revenue due to that loss of assessment. Additionally, there's a reduction in other local revenues due to current economic situations, which include interest earnings, earned income tax, and real estate transfer taxes. Furthermore, to review, the School District of Cheltenham Township is projecting a reduction from the state of Pennsylvania in state subsidy by 13%. And lastly, the loss of stimulus funds in the amount of $1.5 million takes place in the 2011 to 2012 budget, which will significantly impact the ability to overall spend on various initiatives. This chart provides further detail and comparison of the 2011 to 2012 budget versus the 2010-2011 budget. You can see from these numbers that there are many revenues that are significantly less than the previous year. This is one of the most significant driving factors in the inability of the school district to currently have a balanced preliminary budget. This slide provides a distribution of expenditures for 2010 to 2011 versus 2011 to 2012. The first two pie charts at the top of the page compare the overall composition of where our money goes. The school district spends the most significant portion of its money on salaries and benefits, which are negotiated with its bargaining units. Operating expenditures are the next largest portion of the budget. And it's important to see that for the 2011 to 2012 budget, the school district has taken significant gains to reduce overall operating expenditures by 3% or $3 million. On the 2011 expenditures at the bottom of this slide versus 2011 to 12, a more detailed breakdown of expenditures is provided. Again, the school district and board have made significant strides to reduce property, supplies, and other purchased services and services used, and the lion's share of increases are in salaries and benefits. If we look now at additional expenditure detail, we can see the expenditures for the school district of Cheltenham Township formally, currently in the 2011 budget, and in the preliminary 2011 to 2012 budget. Again, these expenditures total $101.9 million. An interesting fact is the fact that these expenditures have only increased by approximately $1.3 million over the previous year. This speaks to the tremendous ability of the school district's administration and board in controlling expenditures, looking to improve operational efficiency, and minimizing any increases in expenditures during these economic times. There is, however, a significant increase in salaries due to current negotiated agreements and rising benefit costs, such as the school district's contribution to the Pennsylvania State Employees Retirement System and an increase in mandated healthcare costs. To review the key expenditure factors driving the 2011 to 2012 budget, an increase in health costs by up to 15% is projected within this budget. Additionally, an increase in the employee contribution to the Pennsylvania State Employees Retirement System by 55% is projected and included within this budget. This budget has increased expenditures to meet CEA contract requirements with no additional budgeted monies. As you may be aware, the school district's bargaining agreement with the CEA, the Cheltenham Educators Association, expires on June 30th of 2011. This budget includes monies to address aged facilities and provides additional debt service payments required to complete Glenside Elementary and to begin the construction of a new Cheltenham Elementary School. This slide provides further detail relative to the breakdown of the budget for 2010-2011 versus 2011 to 2012. Again, it's important to see that many of the driving factors of this budget rest in the instructional area of regular programs. Regular programs are the school district's instructional programs provided to all students. The increase in this category is again predominantly driven by salary and benefits. It's clear that in many other areas below the regular programs and including in the support services, the school district has made tremendous strides to reduce expenditures. To again review, the school district's preliminary budget has a deficit of $5 million. The school district's administration and board are going to continue to work diligently to reduce this gap and to minimize increases in local revenues. For example, the school district is going to continue to work with the MCIU and other joint ventures relative to increasing its shared service costs and joint initiatives. Additionally, the administration is looking at reallocation of extra duty, extra pay costs, and is looking at a rebid of various necessary services such as audit and other repair and maintenance services to ensure that our costs are the lowest possible. Additionally, at this point in time, the administration is projecting a necessary $2 million reduction in staffing for CEA, CASA, and BEC staffing levels. With a personnel reductions projected of $2 million, there are currently a $3 million gap between revenues and expenditures. The district intends to apply for eligible exceptions, which are believed to cover debt service and PSERs. Additionally, however, the administration is going to continue to research further operating reductions. Additionally, the budget will be updated to reflect state projected revenues, which will be published to all school districts across the state of Pennsylvania in March of 2011. March of 2011 is when the new governor will present his preliminary state budget, which is the first time the school district will receive notice of what its allocations are from the state of Pennsylvania. This presentation is available for review at www.cheltenham.org. The next step in the budget process, shortly, the Pennsylvania Department of Education's budget document will be posted online. This document contains similar information to this presentation, but meets the requirements that Pennsylvania Department of Education specifies for school districts to comply with. Additionally, at the February 8, 2011 Legislative Board meeting, the administration will ask the school board to approve this preliminary budget and to direct the administration to pursue expenditure reductions and to apply for exceptions through the Pennsylvania Department of Education.